am a publisher, and one day my daughter Christina asked me to write a novel with her. Well, that day was long ago, and that little girl is now an adult. But our novels live on. The Truth Seekers Mystery Series highlights a homeschool family, the Murphy teens, in an action-adventure novel that is sure to entertain as well as teach creation truths. To get your copy, visit our website at truthseekersmysteryseries.com.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at mediaangels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to talk about a New Year memory book. This is episode 419, and you can find today's show notes at vintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Do you want to remember all of those great memories? Well, you can by having your kids create a memory book. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but it can hold those treasures that are priceless. Also, check out our books on mediaangels.com. I have some fun novels for kids. One is A Few Minutes with God, which is a story about two kids who are brother and sister, and they have identical dreams. And another is a series of books, the Truth Seekers Mystery Series, that focus again on some siblings, a brother and sister, who are great at solving mysteries and uncovering truth, just like the series name. These books can be found on the website at mediaangels.com. Now, this is another show that is just for kids, so get your kids ready and get ready to create some memories and keep them in a place where you can actually find them. Okay, kids, so before we get started, you might hear some noise in the background. I don't know if you can or not, but my son, Michael, who is my youngest, was out running, and he goes to college in a different state, and he actually had a dog follow him home. So because his mom wasn't nearby and he could say, "Hey, Mom, can I keep this dog?" He ended up keeping this dog for a while, trying to find its owner. And so my kids are going back to college, and guess who's going to get to keep this dog? That's right, me. So this dog is named Dakota. It's actually a girl, and she is a German Shepherd. So you might hear her in the background. She's too little right now to let her run around the house while I'm recording. So I'm going to try this with Dakota in the background, and hopefully she'll be a good girl and won't bark in the background, but you never know. So anyway, as we get started, and as an aside, we could not find the owners, and so that was pretty sad, but they tried for quite a while to find the owners of this dog. So anyway, let's get started here. I want to ask you guys a question. What was your favorite Christmas gift this past year? Now I'm going to ask you another question. What was your favorite birthday present this past year? All right, you know those answers? What about the year before? What about 2 years ago? Do you see my point? We can sometimes remember things from the past year, but how about the years before that? And so as we have our important memories that we want to remember or think, of course, we're not going to forget this. For example, times we spend with our families on a nature walk, or maybe a backyard picnic, or maybe you built a fort in your living room with sheets and towels. These are things that are fun to look back on and remember all of those good times. Why do we like to remember good times? Because sometimes we're sad and we think that everything is going wrong. And we have days when we are feeling like we just want to go to bed and have a do-over the next day. And so that's why it's important to sometimes keep a journal or a memory book or write down some of the things that are special that happened the past year. And then we can go back and look at it and think about those times. So how do you make a memory book? Well, it can be really fancy or it can be really simple. You can use a notebook with lines in it. You can use a journal type of book. Maybe you have some of those art books that just have blank pages and are spiral bound, so you can use those, and those work out really well. You can just take some blank pieces of paper and staple them or glue them together or do any of those kinds of things. You can use a notebook with rings in it and maybe use some of those plastic slip sheets to preserve the pages and, keep some of the things that you might find in nature. You can use the pages you create on a word processor, such as a publishing program or maybe canva.com, and that's spelled canva.com. And that's kind of a great website because it has a free account that you can use and try out and see if you like it. And you can make all kinds of things on that. So you could make different pages and even upload pictures to put in your memory book. So there's all different kinds of ways that you can make one. What are some of the things you can put in a memory book? Well, anything that you want to remember. You can put in some things from field trips that you had that were fun or special. You can add things that you find. For example, my kids used to find snake skins. I know for some of you that's kind of gross, huh? But they would find the skins that snakes shed. So what did they do with it? They took it and they used glue sticks and they would glue them on a piece of paper and then we would put them in slip sheets. Would you believe that my baby is now 20 and I still find some of these pages with snake skins on them and the date? And so even though these were things that they kept from long, long ago, we still have them. You can add pictures you draw. Maybe you've taken some pictures with the camera. It's always nice to print things out. Even though many of us have cameras or you can use your cell phone to take pictures, we don't print them out. So when we do, it makes those kinds of things special. Or maybe you want to keep a journal entry or keep some school papers, something that you did that you were really proud of, or even a story that you've written. So all of these kinds of things can be put in a memory book. I think the most important thing here is what is special to you. What are some of the things that you'd like to remember? Do you know I still have a small autograph memory book from when I was younger? In this book, I had things like the names of my friends and even their signatures. It was actually an autograph book, which was really something that was everyone kind of had. These little autograph books that were leather and they would zip up and you could write things in it. Some of them even had locks on them. They were like, secret journals. And people would write things in them and keep them locked. And I didn't care who saw mine because I had all kinds of signatures from my mother and father and my grandmother and my aunts and uncles and my friends. And one of my friends put a rhyme in when she learned I was moving to Canada. It said, "May our friendship last until America drinks Canada dry." Now, I was in second or third grade when this happened, and I still remember that. And Canada Dry is the name of a soda pop, if you're not familiar with that. And yes, I did live in Canada from third grade to sixth grade, but then we moved back to the United States when I was in seventh grade. And it's fun for me as an adult to have something from my childhood, something that I can look back and treasure that memory. So as we're approaching a new year, whenever you're listening to this podcast, but as we are approaching a new year right now, I thought it would be fun for you to do a memory book that started at the beginning of the year and went on, but you can do it whenever you want. So the important thing is, what would you like to write about in your memory book? What are some of the things that you treasure? And maybe you like the idea of starting an autograph book and getting everyone's signatures, and that would be fun. And for those of you who don't like to write, remember, you can draw or take pictures to make this memory special. Whatever that is, make it unique. And how can you do this? Well, one way is with an online service. I saw a memory book that had pictures that were uploaded on a website and it was printed in a book, and that was really cool. And it was a gift to a grandparent, and it was a wonderful gift. In fact, I have one of these. So maybe you want to do something really special and turn it into a gift for a member of your family. Each family is special and unique, and I hope you put an effort into getting along with your siblings and listening to your parents. And that is always important, and it makes family life a lot more fun. I have some character journals that I have written, and they're available on my website at mediaangels.com. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. I'd love to hear how you are sharing your memories with your family and friends. Take care. God bless. And I hope to talk to you soon. If you want the show notes for today's episode, you can go to vintagehomeschoolmoms.com and look for episode 419.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at mediaangels.com and thevintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.